Okay, so we have a few new faces here tonight, so just go over the ground rules real quick. These meetings are televised live, so when you approach the podium, please talk loudly. Let us know who you are, the business you represent, and you can lay your plans out on the table right next to the podium. So just a little business for our board. If gentlemen had an opportunity to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. We're approval for the minutes?
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so under our old business tonight is DRB 2024-11. This is a continuation from last month. The business is Oshushi at 613 West Lancaster Avenue for outside dining. Hello, Sam.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
So, according to our last meeting, we,
Sam, let everybody know who you are,
oh,
okay?
I'm sorry. My name's Sam. I'm the owner of Sushi.
Okay, great,
And
thank you.
Last time we was here, we proposed to put the couple tables out and fencing and umbrellas for outdoor dining.
Mhm.
So, today I'm bringing the updated materials.
Mhm.
So,
So I think we had two questions last month, one pertaining to the barriers and also the umbrellas. So we're going to take a look at some different umbrellas also.
So the photo on top, it's showing the, this photo here is showing a photo of the exterior. So first I would like to show the umbrella, the updated umbrella first. This is a aluminum material, which 90% of the restaurants use. So this is gonna be the umbrella that I would like to use.
Sam, the umbrella itself is out of fabric?
The umbrella on top is fabric, yes.
It is a fabric?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What color are you going to use?
Black.
Black?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. And the,
And then next we have the
excuse me, Sam?
the
I
barrier.
think you're aware, no advertising on the umbrellas. You just have to leave it plain black.
Correct, yeah, I'm aware
Okay.
of that, yep.
We also need to know from the grade to the bottom of the umbrella, how high it is.
This is a 9 feet umbrella.
Okay.
The specs say 76.5 inches.
Right, and you need to be at least 6 feet, 8 inches high. So that's 80 inches, so you're a little low on that.
Okay, I'll make sure that this umbrella it's high enough to meet the requirement.
80 inches.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But I just want to confirm that that umbrella, that specific umbrella, it's okay to use.
You guys are good with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Is it this umbrella material, do you know, the fabric?
The umbrella, yes, it's going to be fabric, but the pole and the base, it's aluminum.
Aluminum, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Okay, good.
And next we have is the barrier that we spoke about last time.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the a metal. This is going to be the panels that I would like to propose to put to use 3 pieces of the 7 feet panels without the logo. With these panels are specifically made for a lot of restaurants use, and they're weather resistant metal material. So that's the one that I found based on what our our meeting last.
This, the plan that you shared, can you share that on the table and show us where you envision these panels? Now, I understand the footprint, but this plan kind of shows me that there's only going to be 3 panels. Is that what you're proposing?
Yeah. So 3 7-feet panels.
So which panel are you proposing?
Well, this one has the logo, so we're gonna get rid of that because. So we plan on choosing the middle one.
The weave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks good.
Yeah. And so you're gonna have 3 separate panels that are connected to each other or not?
It's
connected?
gonna be connected to each other.
That speaks to what Colin was asking, like on the footprint there, you have the 3, you used to
Oh.
have the barriers there, right?
Yeah, that was the plan that we submitted last time was original plan was to put the plant bed.
Yeah, planter boxes.
So the planter boxes, so that wasn't allowed. I know that. So this is the one that we found, which is going to be all 3 panels are going to be connected together.
Okay.
So you're gonna do like a U?
It won't be a U.
It's just gonna be a straight line?
It's going to be a straight line. Yeah.
So just 3 in the front?
Yeah.
Nothing on the side?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically 21 feet,
21 feet. Yeah.
21 feet, okay.
And the pad there is 22 feet 8 inches, according to this drawing, so. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
273 inches. So.
I mean, it should work with the post, and filling up the entire
Yeah,
width.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. Sam, how high are they?
They're going to be 36 inches high.
Okay, I think that's the minimum,
Yeah.
36. Feel that's adequate, I guess that's,
They're the standard heights. They're 36. But then if we want them higher, we can customize them to be made higher.
I don't think you need them
And are the posts fixed or are they
They're
movable?
removable.
How are they anchored down?
I don't think they are.
They're not. So they're removable.
okay. Sam, is there anything else you want to bring before us tonight?
No.
I think there were the 2 issues. Guys, do you have any questions or comments for Sam?
I'm fine with it.
You're good? Andy? You're good? I'm fine. Okay. All right.
In the matter of DRB 2024-11, I move to approve the application.
Colin?
Sorry.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Thank you. And don't forget, you're going to have to get a permit for that too, okay?
Yeah. I'll work on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.
I was waiting for more.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I keep it
Yeah.
simple. You get in trouble when you get complicated.
There you go. All right. Okay, next on the agenda tonight is DRB 2024-15. The application is Silkman Dentistry at 398 West Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for 3 wall signs, a ground sign, and a refacing of a sign cabinet. And I think you all know this is the old Flag Lady property. Okay.
How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Paul DiPapolo from Warriors Sign Systems.
Okay, nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, you got a lot of signage going on here, huh?
Yeah, there's 2 sets of channel letters and some refacing of existing signage.
You want to start with the monument sign?
Sure. So this monument sign exists. All we're doing is just putting new faces on it, taking the old ones off and putting new ones on with the new logo for the new tenant.
Okay. Okay, so same monument,
Same monument, yep,
okay.
no change.
I don't know if you've been in before, Paul, but part of the code is at nighttime, that background's got to light up black.
Okay,
All right, it's got to be an opaque background. So the only thing visible at night should be Silkman DDS, the logo, phone number. We always run into that issue with general dentistry, where it's pretty specific on monument signs, where the name of the business only goes on that.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna bring it up.
Yeah, you go ahead, you want to explain it to Paul?
So you're only allowed to have the legal business name on your sign. No,
Okay.
no descriptive words.
Okay,
So general dentistry would not be permitted.
gotcha, okay.
And I guess unless it's,
Unless it's
So-
part of the
Yeah.
legal business name, which,
That I'm
I
not
don't know the
100%
answer.
sure, yeah, I'm not
Right.
100% sure, so I'll have to find that out.
okay. So there's potentially two issues.
monument sign and the wall sign would be problematic.
Right, right. Okay,
And then only the letters can light up?
at nighttime, yes.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. Letters, and if general dentistry would be okay, you can have that illuminated and also the phone number
And the logo.
and the logo, yes.
Okay.
So the background has to be black
Background has to be black?
and stay
Okay.
black. You can't have like a white background shining at night,
Gotcha, okay, because the existing sign had a white background.
but it
That's,
doesn't shine at night.
it doesn't.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, so we're good with that, right?
We're good with Silkman DDS.
Yes, right.
Is the phone number allowed?
Yes, phone number and website you could put on there.
Okay,
So if you're not going to put general dentistry, feel they have a little extra space, you could put their website on there.
So what do you want to do? You want to find out if the legal business name includes that and do a continuance? Or do you want us to approve Silkman DDS and not the general dentistry?
yeah, we could approve Silkman DDS because I think the tenant is opening up within a couple weeks. So he's gonna want some sort of signage up there.
So I think we could only approve one, right?
Right, right.
Okay,
Because the monument is in conflict too.
gotcha, okay.
All right, okay. Well, so let's look at the building itself. So it looks like you want to put 3 signs on the building.
Correct. Here's the one to the left of this entrance, above the main entrance, that says Silkman DDS, that's their logo. So it's a set of facelit channel letters on a raceway.
Fine with me.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it. It looks good.
Yeah, I like that part.
Yeah. The other one I'm not too sure about.
I do not like the other
Yeah, I
part.
don't like it at all, to be honest with you. Thank you. Tell us about the other one, Paul?
The other one is the same set of facelit channel letters on a raceway. It says general dentistry, which I want to comply, so
Yeah,
we'll make sure that's allowed or not. If not, what can I put there? Is there any contingency or,
Is there a need for the sign there?
yeah.
I'm sorry?
Is there even a need for the sign there?
There was 2 signs there before, so
Have the signs been taken off at this point, or?
yes. Yes, they're removed because the building was repainted.
I mean,
Well,
they have the width for another sign.
Yeah, they do.
So
They have the
legally
square
you
footage.
could.
But
Correct.
then it's only one occupancy within the building.
That's right.
To me, it almost looks like it's 2 separate
Yeah.
businesses
It makes
in
it-
there. They're so
exactly.
spread apart there. Yeah, I think there's got to be a better way to do it. If that general dentistry is allowed, your phone number is allowed.
Okay.
Would you consider a sign on the Conestoga side?
Which side is that?
It's the back of your building.
The back?
You know,
Possibly.
There's X amount of cars on that road,
Okay.
so it's another option.
I can propose that to my client.
It would look less cluttered on the face, I think.
Yeah.
And then you're also advertising on the rear.
Well, the other thing is, you may not be aware of it, but you're allowed to use 20% of your available window space. So if they want to do a vinyl graphic in the window with general dentistry, they can do that
Okay.
with the phone number.
I just don't think that you need it. I don't think you need the general dentistry and the phone number on the building itself, especially if you have the number on the monument sign.
Right.
I think the tooth does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you there.
I understand.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't think you need that sign, and quite frankly, I don't think that you can, I don't think there's justification for 2 wall signs on the
Right.
same frontage for the same business.
Sure.
Well, unfortunately, we approved the solid wood cabinets.
Yeah, I know.
That would be,
But it's
yeah.
gone now. That's the thing, it's
I
gone
know.
now. They took it down.
Yeah,
I know.
right.
You didn't hear that from me.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Still shows it on the drawing.
Okay. Paul, you know, you said that they're getting ready to open, so
Yeah.
if things drag on a little bit, and we can't come to a conclusion tonight, you can apply through the township for a 30-day temporary banner
Okay,
to buy a little time. So we'd rather do it right,
gotcha.
yeah, rather than make a mistake and pay for it later, so. So that's an option. And like I mentioned, your window space, you can use 20% of that available window space.
Gotcha.
Paul, the other thing is, it's hard to tell from the photograph, but are they awnings up there or not?
No, there are no awnings.
There are no awnings, okay, it's hard to tell. But that's a building that would probably look pretty nice with awnings, just to dress it up and,
Now you're really spending their money.
yeah. You like that, right?
I do,
Yeah, okay,
of course.
yeah. All right, and then you also have a sign on the side of the building.
Yes, it was just a reface of an existing sign. There was an existing sign on the side of the building. We were just refacing it.
So what do you guys feel about that sign? It'll kind of match the monument sign. Again, black background.
Black background? Okay.
Yeah. Again, we'll need to know about, well, we always walk that fine line with the little byline for a business. Trek, for example,
Yeah.
we kind of
Well,
limited them to Trek,
Yeah.
but they kind of got their way and.
By
ended
code,
up-
that's, I think, how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Agreed.
It goes back to the pizza shop.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the classic example of why we don't do it.
Right, right.
So you can't have it be, Bob's Pizza with hoagies and bullies and everything else
Gotcha.
listed on the sign
Yeah.
itself.
Gotcha.
But at the same time, we try to give them a little identity, small identity, without getting too graphic in nature.
Well, if you concede on that one, you're conceding on all of them.
Yeah, well, the monument sign is very strict in the code book. It can only be the name of the business. Yeah, that's pretty strict. The wall signs have a little more leeway. So, I mean, I'll leave it up to you guys if you feel like, if you want to let them have that byline, general dentistry, at least it gives some idea whether it's, so they know it's not a orthodontist or an oral surgeon or what have you, but, yeah, the size is existing, what is there, same
Yes.
cabinet and everything, so.
Yep.
I know we approved it, so that's good, and I know that the height is within range, 15
And
feet from grade.
The two signs that we're proposing to replace the two channel letter signs are a little bit smaller. They're the same width.
Yeah.
Height-wise, they're a little bit smaller than what
Okay,
was there existing.
Okay, all right. So what do you guys feel about this sign? Are you okay with it, or I mean, would we want to go back and ask the applicant to put the Raceway sign on the side of the building, which is a little classier
I think
sign?
it looks more consistent to have,
Yeah, I do
instead of
too.
having two different types of signs.
Yeah.
It's not separated by all that far in distance.
Right, exactly. And the way they proposed it, it was actually 3 different wall signs, and I think that was just a little too much.
Right.
So, do you think you're,
If they wanted, I mean, I go back to the front sign, if the
Mm-hmm.
Silkman DDS got centered on the building, I think it'd look fine there.
I agree with you, yeah.
I think it kind of is silly to have it actually on the side unless you have the two signs over top of where the doors are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if they're gonna be using both entrances?
I'm not 100% certain. I know at least one. I can find out if they're going to use both. So,
Okay,
I mean, it seems to me that it's better to take that front sign, put it on the center of the building, and use the Raceway sign on the side of the building as well, and have it be matching.
yeah, I agree, 100%,
And
yeah.
then the monument sign, get rid of the general dentistry, and then you have your monument sign.
I
Right,
think the proposed Silkman sign is due to the fact that there's no band.
Is that,
There's no picture frame in that location. So it's a flat plane,
gotcha.
you know what I mean? Unless they shrunk the size, it's the only logical location.
Yeah. All right, well. So what do you think? Should we,
I'm okay with the Silkman DDS.
Yeah.
But that's it.
right,
I'm
right,
got, that's fine.
on the Raceway?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
And the location.
Over the door, if that is the main door, I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
a good
fine.
spot to put it, yeah, yeah. And I think people going by are gonna know it's all one business, it's not two businesses, even though the sign wouldn't be centered
Building's been all one business for how long?
forever, yeah, since it's been there, so.
Okay.
So Paul, if it's okay with you, I mean, you've got some options. You can come back to visit us next month if you want.
Okay.
With a revised plan and stuff. Our next, we meet monthly, second Wednesday of the month. Our next meeting is May 8th.
Okay.
But you would have to get revised plans into our township building by April 17th. You know, it's funny that this is the third business since that building was rehabbed. Years ago, it was always like
Yeah.
a tap room or a bar. You probably remember it, right?
No,
I'm only
no.
kidding you. But,
That predates me.
and you know what?
I remember the flag lady. That's,
Yeah, and I was on the board when the flag lady came in, and it was a tough application then. And the wood cabinets was a tough application.
That
It's
was
just
one of
not
my
an
first
easy spot.
applications.
Yeah, it's just not an easy spot for signage. And, so, yeah, Paul, so anyway, you know, we have that temporary sign, temporary banner you can put up for 30 days. You'd have to go to the township, get approval for them.
Okay.
Yeah, we
But
want you guys
We
to,
can give an approval on
if we take
Yeah.
away the general dentistry,
the main raceway sign, and he can get started on that.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
that's true.
Yeah, so we're good with that,
Okay.
the Silkman DDS with the raceway.
Yeah, I'll take that approval.
I think we're good with the monument sign. We just need to double check about the general dentistry, whether it's actually the name of the business or it's just,
I think that comes off.
you think so? Yeah, I kind of think it's
Yeah.
gone too, yeah. If you take just Silkman DDS on the
And the phone
monument
number.
sign, phone number, and if you want to put the
Website.
website.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and
I'll
then,
resubmit that when I resubmit.
okay, that sounds good, yeah, get a clean application for us
Yep.
and everything, or a clean copy, I should say.
So then at this point, then we just take the raceway sign and then continue the rest.
Continuance, everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
a good
the
plan.
best way to go.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. And if you guys are unsure, just wait till, the May meeting, and,
Sure.
yeah. If you even come up with a couple ideas for us, that's fine, too.
Okay.
Hey, Bob, could we just
Yes.
get clarification? The monument sign is approved without general dentistry,
Yes, it has to be opaque.
unless the name of the company is truly, has that in its name.
Right.
Correct.
Silkman DDS General Dentistry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it is registered business, that is its legal name, it could have it.
But then they might be coming back with their website.
Okay, so.
If the general dentistry
We're
is
just
that, you
trying
might
to,
put the
we're trying
website
to
on
just,
there?
there's been a lot of discussion, we're just
Right.
trying to get, what are we approving tonight?
Okay, no website?
Why don't we
No
just
website.
approve the DDS sign and everything else is continuance,
That's what I was suggesting.
The wall sign.
including the monument sign? Continue that,
Okay.
because it's unclear if general
Okay.
Okay,
dentistry is,
so the sign over the entrance door is approved,
that's correct,
and everything else is coming back?
that's correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Is that all
thank
right,
you.
Paul?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, that sounds good, then. Okay. All right, again, April 17th, you need to get your plans into the township building at that time, and we'll go from there. We'll see you in May, I guess, so.
Okay.
All right, okay. Andy, any other comments? You're good? Board?
Thank you for the clarification.
No, in the matter of DRB 2024-15, motion for approval for one wall sign with Raceway above main entrance with a continuance on the remaining signs, which were two wall signs and a monument sign. Motion for approval.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'll just say one last thing. If the applicant feels they only want to put one sign on the front of the building, is it okay if they move the location to the center of the building, if they feel it's better there than over the door? Are we going to give them that leeway?
It's fine with me.
I would object to that.
You'd rather have it over the door?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I would honestly rather have it over the door.
Okay,
There's
that's fine.
power there and everything, so.
Yeah, good.
Great.
Sounds good. All right, Paul, thanks, and we'll see you in May.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next on tonight's agenda is DRB 2024-16, the application of Wayne Town Center, 200 West Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for a new monument sign. Hello there.
Good evening. Jeff Carson, City Sign,
Okay,
and I'll pass out the updated drawings.
okay, thanks, Jeff.
I got it, I just couldn't print it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Jeff.
So, good evening, I'm here on behalf of Eastern Property Group. We are looking to replace the existing illuminated monument sign that's on the property with a new sign. The new sign will be illuminated also. It'll be internally lit. The backgrounds will be completely opaque, only the copy will light white. The sign's going to go in the same bed that the existing sign is located in. We will center it in the bed. If you look at the second page of the drawing set, you can see the overhead or aerial view of the bed. There are a series of raised beds that run the entire front of the property for the development. The bed that this sign and the existing sign is in is 28 feet of frontage along Lancaster Avenue. The sign will be centered in the bed, and per the request of the township, the bed will sit no taller than 8 feet to include the mean grade of that bed. So what we did is we measured the four corners of the bed. We multiplied, or excuse me, we added them together, divided by 4. It's a 16-inch difference between the sidewalk and the middle of the bed, and we've subtracted that from the 8 feet, and we'll produce the sign at 80 inches. We'll use the existing electric service, and the sign will be finished in a
Jeff, just-
satin black.
Just explain to the board, you got a beautiful sign, it's there, why you're doing it.
Well, the existing sign's 16 years old, and it's been falling apart over the last couple of years. Pieces of it are just falling off, and they've repeatedly been put back on, but unfortunately, they're probably not going to hold up much longer. It's a glass panel, and then it has individual tenant slots on it that constitute the same number of tenants, but the exposure is, one, not great, and two, again, because it's falling apart, if you drive past it, a couple of the panels are now have fallen into the bedding.
Right. And the placement of this sign?
So this will be in the exact same bed. The existing sign is much wider. This is only going to be 60 inches wide, and it will be dead nuts in the middle of the bed. So the setback will actually be greater than the existing sign. It'll also be further west in the same bed, so it should work out nicely for sight triangles, although there is almost a 12-foot feeder when you actually pull off the property to cross over the sidewalk before you get onto Lancaster Avenue. So there really isn't much of a visibility issue to be able to see past the sign, the existing sign, nor past the bedding to look west on Lancaster Avenue.
Do you guys feel it's pertinent to have the police come out just to do a site check, just to make sure?
We can do it, but I've never experienced a problem at that location.
Okay,
I feel like Kevin's done a little due diligence already, so.
yeah, okay, yeah.
My
sometime-
problem at that location has never been the sign, it's always been the traffic.
Right.
If you're trying to turn left.
Yeah, for sure,
It gets busy.
yeah.
This might be just an oversight, but on this printout, you have the signs reversed on each side. Is that going to be like that, or?
Believe it or not, it is, because there isn't, and I'm going to be your next applicant also, but there isn't any vacancy in the center. And so when we get to the next application, Schwab signed on for another 10 years to stay in the center. The two main tenants, the two largest tenants, are PNC Bank and Schwab. So they both have rights to be on the top. So the agreement was made that one would be on one side, one would be on the other.
Got it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
But that's a good observation.
Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you.
Okay, so we know the sign can be no longer than 30 square feet.
And that's where we are.
Okay, did you tighten that number up a little bit, or not?
It should be correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, it 10 and a half inches, 6 panels, that should be 63 inches. And then including the retainers that will allow those tenant panels to be interchangeable, so that, when he does, or if he should need to replace them, the retainers are usually somewhere in the neighborhood of around 1.5 inches.
Okay,
So the little header at the top and the
Yeah.
piece at the bottom will help to keep it so that it doesn't get plowed under by
Gotcha.
the mulch that'll be in the bed.
I know you're either just a hair over or a hair under, so
We'll make sure we're at
Yeah.
exactly at
the
the
number's
30.
floating around a little
No.
bit, but you're real close, so.
We'll make sure we're at that.
Okay. And no higher than 8 feet from grade. So we know
That's
that.
correct.
That was
Yep.
controversial.
That's why we showed in that left-hand corner of the first page, the 16 inches, because that'll be our mean grade. You can see in the photograph on the bottom of the second page, you can see the slope. It's pretty significant because Lancaster
Right.
Avenue is going
sure.
downhill there as you head east on it.
Okay.
Every one of those planters have a significant drop.
Yeah. Jeff, the material you're going to use to manufacture this?
So all aluminum, so it'll be heavy gauge plate, and then each of the tenant panels will be routed and backed. And then that way they will be opaque for the backgrounds, and they will be only white copy.
Okay.
And we should be consistent on all the logos for, how they're represented.
Okay. Yeah, I hate to bring this up, but now we get into question of some of the nameplates themselves that have maybe a little bit more than the tenant name of business on there.
If I can remind you, I was before you back in August, actually July, I think, and Bluebell changed their business name to make sure
Right.
that they were properly
Exactly, I
identified.
remember that, yeah.
So,
So, what do you guys feel about it?
Do you see a conflict?
I didn't see anything.
I don't see one.
Yeah, you're good? Okay.
With the nameplates themselves?
Yeah, I think, that doesn't look like there's any, I guess the one is State Strategies Incorporated, a Holmes Group company.
It's probably part of their legal.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm
that
fine.
doesn't bother me.
I'm fine with that,
I
yeah.
think my only issue with the nameplate signs is the address panel actually makes it seem like it's a business.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's my only, that's really my main problem with the sign is that. So I don't know if there's a way that we can distinguish that panel off so it actually makes it look like it is not just one of the usual panels.
it was actually incorporated into the shroud at the bottom of the sign.
Okay.
And then as a function of the township coming back and saying, hey, let's make sure that we stay within the 8-foot limit, including the mean grade.
Yeah.
That was a vacancy that was on there in the event they could use it for the future, but there is no vacant space in the building. So the owner made the decision that he wanted to still be able to get the address on there for life safety purposes, and so it was incorporated into that position.
Is there a way to put like a border around it to distinguish it off?
It could be that there's maybe a different color, or there could be a border around it if you wanted it white or something like that to help it to
I
distinguish
think
it.
there needs to be some type of distinction between it.
Yeah, I
And I
agree.
think part of it's because of the logo behind the west.
Yeah, it's
It
the,
kind of draws it and makes it, because it looks like it's like a business 200 west.
it's the crest that's part of all of the different icons that are across the front of the building.
Right.
But-
And I have no problem with that.
Yep.
It's just the distinction between it and the business, so you know that you're actually going to 200 West Lancaster.
Or maybe Lancaster is in smaller font underneath.
Okay.
Something. Like, I feel like there needs to be some
Right,
type of,
right, you're right. Looks like 200 West is the name of the business.
sounds like a great bar.
We can
There you
add
go.
that on there.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good, 200 West Lancaster,
Something.
yeah. You okay with that, Jeff?
Yep, no
Okay.
problem.
I know Mr. Kelly's in the audience, I guess.
We'll make sure it's right.
He's okay with that? Okay,
He will be.
okay. All right, we good with that monument sign then?
I believe so.
We're good?
Yeah.
Jeff, any other comments or questions for the board on this?
No, nothing else. That's it.
Okay, I guess, Tim, it's your turn.
In the matter of DRB 2024-16, I move to approve the application with the modification that the address panel on the monument sign will include the word Lancaster on the panel as well to distinguish it from other businesses.
Okay, and Jeff, if you can get a fresh copy and hand it to the township,
I
just for
can.
the files.
I have that. No problem at all.
Okay, do we hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Thank you all very much. I think it looks pretty.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
I think he's back up.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff. Next tonight is DRB 2024-17, the application of Wayne Town Center at 200 West Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for a wall sign.
So Charles Schwab's been a tenant in the building for over 16 years. They were the first tenant that was signed for the property. They have just recently signed on for another 10 years. In conjunction with the space that they are taking, or they maintain, they're also taking the space that was previously occupied by Bluebell Kitchens before they moved from the end of the wing of the building over to the interior of the building, for which I was before you in July. So there are multiple access points or doorways in and out of the space, but Schwab wants to basically have just one sign. They'd like to upgrade the sign that they have because it's 16 years old. And I don't know if you've gone by to see it, but you can see all the diodes that are in the cabinet that light the push-through letters. So every one of the signs that are in the center are built the same. They are all opaque pans. They're aluminum. They're painted black, and then there's push-through copy. But the returns on the letters are basically just crazing apart, and so you can actually see all the diodes in there. But the intent is that the old Bluebell Kitchens cabinet, which is still there over the storefront, just has a black banner on top of it, would be removed. The limestone or drive-it fascia would be revealed, and there would just be a new cabinet for Schwab that would be put on the storefront. It'd be the same dimensions and same look as what exists throughout the center. Black finish, push-through copy, and only the copy will illuminate.
But it is a larger sign, right?
It is slightly larger, yes. And again, because they're trying to maintain that entry portal and not have people walking to either the left or the right side. In particular, the left, because the doorways will still remain from where Bluebell was.
Are clients visiting this location?
From what I understand, they do, yes.
And now Charles Schwab has, for lack of better words, they're the only tenant in that wing of the building.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So it's, that entire frontage is them now.
That is correct.
That makes sense to me.
I think it's a lot cleaner, too, to be honest with you.
I think there's a couple concern there. And Andy, can I ask you a question? I notice is within the Wayne Business Overlay District, would that be considered no planned business under the code? Or would it be a C1?
We have done a preliminary plan review for they're expanding the space. So I think right now, there's been no questions raised. But at the formal application, it'll go before Kevin, the zoning officer. But at this time, I don't think there's any concern of the expansion of the space.
Yeah, I'm just, because under planned business, I think they exceeded their square footage on this, whether it's under commercial or planned business zoning.
Yeah, that'll get reviewed at a formal application.
Okay.
Right now, we've checked for code compliance as far as accessibility and any other building code matters. And we had there was a review letter with just minor review comments. It was an acceptable application for building codes.
And the other thing that I brought up is when this originally came in, this building project, of course, the building was all rehabbed and modernized and stuff like that, whether the cutouts were specific for signage. And it looks
And
like,
approved that way, you mean?
yeah, and of course, this is larger than the cutout. But it would have to do some research, I guess, within the township to find out, you know, whether it was the original proposal to keep those signs consistent with all the other signs on the building within the cutouts. So that's a question. I mean, it looks good, but does it open up a can of worm where, you know, now Bluebell wants bigger signage or whatever? So,
I get the concept of why, for the branding purposes and for the trying to bring everybody's attention to that door, that's why the size, I think, is to get that. But if you take away the other sign on that frontage, it's the only sign.
right.
And we'd be less square footage than if we had two signs, theoretically. And this storefront is the only storefront that technically faces out to Lancaster Avenue, and it's also the greatest distance from Lancaster Avenue.
That's true.
So you have to view it back up through the parking lot with all the trees and all the other landscaping that's in the nice bedding that's there.
Right.
That's true.
So, you know, it's funny, Jeff, I mean, your copy area is 39.5 square feet, but we really need to look at the overall size of the sign, which is coming in at 66. So you can have it in your wall description, it says 50 feet max. So, and like I said, that's a 66 square foot sign. You know, no matter how you cut it. So, and there's a lot of wasted border area, but it's
There
still
is.
part of the signage. Yeah. So I guess ultimately it's going to come down to what Kevin, correct, has to say about this, whether we
Yes,
approve it or.
we'll have Kevin review it. He's on vacation right now.
Okay.
But he'll be back next week, so we'll have him look.
So what do you saying there?
I go back to the comment that you were making about the design of the building and
Yeah.
the panels.
So I guess we need to look into that, or at least Kevin will have to look into that and try to figure out. I think even,
Do you know what the size of the current sign is?
The existing one that is in that span is 10 feet 8 inches. So that's actually a great question, because that's the smallest opening of every one of the retail, portals on the building.
The smallest band.
It's the smallest bay.
Yeah.
So when I was before you in July for the folks from Bluebell, they replaced both the signs that had previously been, I think it was Peanut Butter and Jane was one, and the other one was Blue Octagon. They're almost, I think they're almost 18 feet wide. They have a nice frontage. If you can see standing in front of the showroom, they have those large glass windows that look right in. So it's a much bigger frontage for them. But that's the smallest portal.
all right,
So the current sign sits with, it's flush.
It is. It's inside the vertical accents. The proposed sign would be to the edges of the brick. Trying to think about the right words, but there's a brick projected element. Yes, thank you.
that's in there,
I'm saying.
right, the other one's just gonna be plastered.
Would there then be gaps
No.
behind?
Now, if you look at the top of the depiction, the back of the sign would be
Oh, I
built so
see.
that
That's the
it
little
would,
bump out.
yeah, so we would actually template that, and as long as we maintain about an inch and a half to 2 inches, you can put the lighting in there, and it'll still give you nice even lighting, because the background the face is gonna be opaque and only the copy lights up. So it should enable you to get the lighting to work across it evenly, even though it might be in and out a little bit to accommodate the cornice.
All right, so what do you say?
I understand the
Yeah.
logic, but, you know, the sign is too big by
Yeah.
code, unfortunately. I think you could shrink it by at least 3 feet in width, but then it's not gonna marry with what your design of, you know, the edge of the pilasters,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Sure.
So then again, do you then just reduce it in between the bands? I don't know.
Well, again, should we do, I mean, this doesn't have to be done tomorrow as
No.
such. They've
No,
got
they-
signage, so it's not like it's their new business.
I think they're looking to, I'm not sure when the lease, I guess the lease took effect immediately, but I don't know when they take the expanded space.
Should we ask the applicant to come back, have Kevin do a little homework between now and then?
Well, as it stands right now, right, we can't approve this sign because it exceeds the maximum amount of square footage. So there's nothing that we
Right.
could do
So,
except for redesign it on the fly here with you.
so if it goes to 50 square feet, in other words, based on the fact that the cabinet dimension is what it is, it would be approved?
Well, let's just see here. If it's,
I'd want to see it. I'd want to see what it looks like on the building, right?
so that's the zoning,
I,
planned business, wall signage. So definitely under, like a C1 or commercial zoning, 50 is your max. Tim's just checking out if it's under planned business, it might be a different measurement.
so I had a call with Schwab before we came over here this evening, and had mentioned to him, I said, they asked me what I had thought, and I said, well, the issue will be when I get before the board, if the square footage is, even though that's what you'd like to have, if they come back and they say 50 square feet,
Sure.
it's not a matter of the copy area, it's the body of the
Right.
cabinet, and it could very well be the issue. So actually, detailed something for him. I
Yeah.
brought it with me because I was nervous that, you know, that it might have to be the fallback.
Sure.
If you're willing to take it, I'll present it to you, and hopefully that'll give you the ability to say
Yeah.
that it's okay, and then pending Kevin's review,
Please.
it might allow
Yeah.
you to be able to approve it.
The aesthetics of that sign being out of the box will say, do you like it or not?
I don't have an
see what it
issue
looks
with it,
like.
You don't have
actually.
an issue? Okay.
I understand their grievance.
So this reduces by a couple of feet, which is just what Mr. Whelan was talking about, so I guess it's possible that it could then drop down by what's actually 4 feet 9 inches. Now it's at 50, now the structure's at 50. It still gives them a little bit larger exposure across the expanse of the full building frontage from left to right for the
Right.
retail space that they're taking.
I think this is fine.
The height of all the cabinets is exactly the same. They're all 3 feet 4 inches, so none of that changes.
Okay. Would you come up for 40 for planned business?
Well, the Wayne, does Wayne come in under planned business? Is that where that comes in?
Well, it comes under the Wayne Business Overlay District. That's on the,
Right.
yeah, WBOD. So it's, but there's nothing in there like for Wayne Business Overlay District. There's no language for Wayne Business Overlay District, so,
Right.
yeah.
There's gotta be something that says what it comes under.
Yeah, the code doesn't differentiate, unfortunately, from,
Right.
from Wayne Business District to C1, C2, et cetera.
Do you know if Bluebell's sign is 50?
I-
Do you recall?
I don't, they would be 3, 4 by
They're-
that dimension. I don't know.
You said-
I'm sorry.
10 feet 8 inches.
10 feet 8 is what exists right now for
Yeah.
Schwab.
Well, it's probably,
But
when you think they're all
Bluebell-
consistent, those cutouts?
No, they're all
They're all
different.
random.
They're all different.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying that when I was before you, the size of the cabinets are different. And for Bluebell, the cabinets existed. The only thing we were doing, if you remember when I came before you, was we're changing the faceplate.
Right.
That's all we were doing.
Right, right.
So we were working within the existing confines of what's there.
Okay.
I think they went above and beyond the effort to match the profile of the building, you know, knowing that we would ask about the width, so
Right.
I think it's a good application.
Okay. Well, you want to make a motion and maybe contingent upon
Kevin's review?
Kevin's review of the sign, existing sign box that's there, cutouts and sizes, and what's it really zoned under? Is that right?
Yeah, fine with me.
Okay.
Is it good with you?
Any?
So there's no
You got
possibility
it?
we do the 66
Sure.
then? We have to stay within the 50 as far as the pan dimension, correct?
You good with that?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, fire away there.
The applicant had a question, that was,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that, he was just clarifying that we're not allowing the 66 square foot cabinet.
No, I think any way you look at it,
No,
it's too big.
66 is way
It's too big.
It's gonna be too big.
Yeah. There's nothing in there that allows anybody 66 square feet signage, so.
Okay. What number are we at?
you got it.
The matter of DR,
Let me see, Jeff might have another
oh,
comment.
sorry.
1 second, I'm sorry.
Okay.
just So I can clarify something.
Yeah, I'm just worried.
Sorry about that. Thank you, that'll be fine, 50 square feet.
The matter of DRB 2024-17, application for Wayne Town Center and Charles Schwab. Motion for approval with a continuance, approving the 50 square foot wall sign after the fact that Kevin Kachansky reviews the zoning language of the initial approval when the building was renovated.
I think you meant on a contingency, not a continuance.
I'm sorry, thank you.
No, I'm just, yeah, seconded.
Okay, all right. And Andy, Any further comment?
No, that's fine. We'll follow up with Kevin and emails to everybody with what has to, if everything's
Okay.
fine, you'll just be informed. If we have to come back, we'll let everyone know.
Okay,
For the
terrific.
record, it's on the document marked option 2.
Okay, great. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
You have a good
Okay.
evening.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. See you, Ms. Kelly. Take care. All right. Hold tight. No. Okay. Next on our agenda tonight is DRB 2024-18, the application of Radnor Hotel at 591 East Lancaster Avenue for some facade changes, formal garden accessory structure, and a wall sign. Yes. Okay, good, good, great.
Even if it is under that, which I don't think it is.
Yeah. Right.
It's an interesting little.
Yeah, thanks. Tim, you need a minute? No. Okay. All right.
Good evening. Joe Birch with SW Bages Limited. We operate the Radnor Hotel. As you probably heard in the news, at the Wayne Hotel, we've partnered with Fearless. They run Rosalie there, and they're now running the F&B operation. So we have a lot of changes going on throughout the hotel with different rooms, concepts. So we're here to present a couple of those to you tonight. The first thing that we're proposing is we're looking to change the entrance to the hotel, the main part of the hotel. You can see in this part, there's the sign, the porte cochere, and the storefront is your typical dark bronze. And what we want to do is change that storefront. It does move out about 4 feet, 6 inches. And this is kind of just a concept to it, just to, when it's not, this is kind of a bright picture, but just so it calls it out. They are going to redo the restaurant entrance, which is going to make a change to that. So we're just trying to call this out at the same time. And then just to give you an idea, this is the existing entrance is in pink on this drawing. And then what we're proposing to do is it moves about 4 feet, 6 inches out. It looks like they're operating doors. Those are the breakaway doors. They're still sliding back and forth. It angles, comes across, and just calls it out a little differently. So that's what we submitted just in case we need, this is a facade approval for this. So this is one of the changes we're looking to make.
Will the glass be opaque as it shows, or will
No,
it be clear?
it'll be clear. It was more just to kind of show it to you. That was
Yeah,
really
thank you.
about it, but it'll be clear. And it would be your clear aluminum as opposed to, which comes off as like a typical silver aluminum color.
You said clear aluminum, you said?
That's what they call it for the storefront. They call it clear aluminum, but it's actually looks silver.
Okay. It's not gonna be the brown as everything else?
Correct.
You guys good with it?
Are you proposing to change other windows to match in the future, or?
Not at this point. This is the first change to this. We'll see if anything ever changes with other parts of the buildings there, but this is only for this entrance.
Okay.
What's the main purpose of the bump out?
To make a change.
Make a change. Okay, all right.
I
Okay.
would like to have a better answer, but I don't.
Okay, all right, that's an honest answer, Joe.
Why aren't they staying consistent with the brown?
Because we thought the brown was too dark. When it gets a little bit dusk, you don't really see that entrance, especially if the Radnor light, the sign hasn't come on. It's just to call it out as this is where it is. Because there are multiple spots to enter hotel. We're trying to just call this out as the main.
I think. Good with it?
I'm looking at it and saying, are this pantry box by outside dining?
There you go. Yeah, it's interesting.
So there's the, I guess, stop for the valet on the left side of the image there. That seems like it's a different tone. Do you
see that over on the left-hand side? Yeah,
Yeah,
Where's that? I'm sorry.
on the, after you go through the.
Where the stone is?
Yeah, over on that side. You see the bench over there?
Yes.
That's a different shade of painted metal.
I think that's probably like a smoker's outpost.
It's like the bus stop or something.
It looks like a bus stop
Yeah.
or like for valet or something like that, but
That or someone's waiting for an Uber pickup.
right.
just curious, is the silver is the only thing I take issue with, quite frankly.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know if it's just the graphic they're showing.
It
It
might
just
be,
doesn't,
yeah,
yeah,
it-
it doesn't,
The
Doesn't
graphic's
go with
just
the
trying
building.
to call it out as much
Appreciate
as
it. Yeah.
possible.
you know, the trim is this color, the poster this color, you know, you made a good point. You know, the Uber stand or whatever is probably a different color, and, I don't know. Colin, what do you think?
I don't have an issue with it.
Okay.
It's kind of concealed, undercover,
No, it is,
only
And
guests are.
also, I think when we get to the next pictures, there's other changes that will change those posts in front of it.
Okay.
So there's other things kind of
Okay, to tie in with it.
going along with that.
Hey, Joe, now, the doors are like one plate. It looks like the existing doors have a piece kind of in the halfway.
It may have that
Yeah.
piece in between for the breakaway
Is
aspect.
that a little
yes.
bit more of a safety feature when you have that piece in the middle?
I believe so, because that's where, I think if it was locked or something, that's the
Right.
release point.
Yeah, or
Crash
I
bar
mean,
or something.
Yes.
sometimes people walk right through those doors, and they're so clean, they don't even notice them or whatever.
Hopefully 90% of the time, they're working on motion.
Mm-hmm.
Just, we do lock the doors from midnight to 5 a.m., I
Okay.
believe, so that's when that would happen.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we'll move on then,
I
Joe.
see what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right.
This is kind of a picture of the facade from the parking lot. We're proposing to work on this part of the facade. This is kind of up at the walkway along Lancaster. So you can kind of see the property is pretty well set down. From this point, it's hard to believe, but it's about the finished floor elevation is about 18 feet lower than where I'm standing right now by the sign. And what I was doing, I was standing by that sign that you can see on the corner of our property. So the property sits down pretty well. But one thing we're looking to do is change the facade. Now understand, what I'm showing you here for approval is just the hotel behind it, where it says Triple Crown. They're still working on their logo. That's not part of this application. I think they're gonna come up with something, but whatever their final signage and stuff, that's not part of this. I'm real focusing on the facade behind. As you can see, it kind of has like a honeycomb look, and part of it is we're on an old two-pipe system in the hotel, so we only get heat or air conditioning at one time. And when you have a warm day in the wintertime, we can't get air conditioning quick enough. So as we start to work on this, part of the reason for this change is there'll be HVAC units that can give you heat or cool, whatever, on demand, as opposed to stuck with a two-pipe system the whole time. So that's part of the thought of making the change here. So you had windows going all the way across. This is kind of an EFIS system that goes across the whole thing. The colors are close to what we proposing to do. And I wasn't sure where it stood. I know there's a lot of other businesses in the planned business. We put the signage up there for the Radnor Hotel. The letter height of that is 16 inches. Overall, it's about 21 feet 4 inches. So it's about 28, 29 square feet. The height of that from that point right there is 31 feet above the finished floor. So I think you can't go over 15 feet. I'm kind of presenting this, assuming also presenting the facade to try and get approval for that.
Right.
And would understand if we conditionally approve that sign, that I still need to go to zoning to get approval for the height change. But I kind of want to try to present as much as possible
Sure.
at one time.
Joe, do you know if that Radnor Hotel is to scale as we see it?
Yes.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, 16-inch letters aren't that big when it's that far off the highway, but,
But, and
And he makes a good point about being so low.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm in favor of it. I think
Yeah,
it looks good. You
yeah.
need it. You need some
I think anything
signage.
smaller actually would not fit well there. I think it
No,
actually
no.
sits nicely into that.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I tried to find it. I even think
Bigger, but-
Radnor Financial's letters were much larger when you drive in. I know the Lincoln, their little logo was bigger, but I remember the Radnor Financial Center, which they had that on that glass.
variance?
I don't remember. On one side they did, like third floor or something, they put one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Okay, so we can conditionally approve the Radnor Hotel signage.
Subject to approval.
Yeah, subject to approval. What kind of, we'll just look at the signage real quick. Joe, do you know what type of letters are going to be or how they're going to be mounted or?
There'll be interior illuminated channel letters individually mounted up there. They won't be on a raceway. They'll be individually mounted going across. The faces will light, but there won't be any halo. It'll just be a face lit channel letter.
Okay.
They'll show black during the day, and at night they would shine white.
Okay. I think it'll be good, don't you think?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, shine white
Yes,
at night?
yes.
You think it's going to give you enough pop off the light background?
I think so. There's not that much light up there. It's
Okay.
kind of dark. If you ever drove by at night, it's fairly dark. There's not a lot of light that comes through the hotel room windows because you close your blinds before you go to sleep. So most of the time, those are closed.
Okay.
And even when they're not used, this is the southern facade, so we're always closing them because it gets such a heat load with the current windows there.
Okay, so you guys would be good with that signage then, even though it's, okay. I think it looks like it fits well on the
Yeah.
building and everything, so. The other sign you're going to keep also, the one where you drive in? over-
Yes,
Okay.
that's kind of right on as you
Right.
see the railing come down, that'll stay.
That'll stay, okay.
But where the Triple Crown is, you used to have the Glen Morgan sign there, that'll
Right.
go
That'll
away.
Okay,
Some of the railing comes down to accommodate that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the facade of the actual restaurant, that's the existing one. To the far right, past the restaurant facade, there's brick there. We plan to paint that out a similar color of the wall color that we pick up there. But it'll stay, you'll see the brick, but the choice is to just paint that out at this point.
would you guys
So you're
want,
proposing all new windows as well?
Yes. The
And
windows go,
What will that finish be? Will the windows match the new storefront?
no. As they're shown here, they're all, the aluminum is black. And the bottom of that window is the HVAC unit. It's kind of, they manufacture it all as one. There's already the sleeve in the aluminum, so it fits right in, and then if you ever have to swap it out, you would change it out that way. But that's all one integral piece together.
you have a question about the inconsistency with the
I was just
the
asking.
trims? Okay,
I don't understand, but I was just
right,
asking.
I got you, okay.
Do we want to see a cut of that
Yeah,
window?
I was just going to ask you guys that, do you want to see more detail as far as the facade material?
Is that just a
or colors,
event
or-
that you're seeing?
Yes. You see the louvers of the unit on the outside. It actually more sticks into the room about 12 inches. Figure your wall is going to be about 7, 8 inches in thickness, so yes,
Joe, what's your timeline on this project?
we're figuring that out.
Okay. I mean, if we need to have you come back next month, you don't think it'll be a problem? Just if we want to
not-
see more detail as far as
If
colors.
you just want to see more detail of the window, yes. If the general facade of the finishes are okay, I can continue with pricing and stuff like that. But yes, I can get you another
I
cut
think
sheet.
we're all right with the concept, but I
Yeah.
think Bob's, getting to more like colors. We don't know what colors you're proposing. They're shown on here as like a white and beige, but
Yes.
what are they?
Right.
And then like are these awnings being replaced? They look like they're new awnings. What is that material and what's that color
I'm
on the
sorry.
far left? It looks like you're replacing the awnings. These are brown and you're showing black,
Oh,
so.
I'm sorry, yes, I can.
Some more,
Yep, yes.
detail that we're looking for. But I think conceptually it's fine.
Yeah,
And
I
I
do
think you
too.
could probably move forward with a zoning application if that's something you're inclined to do.
Okay.
Tim, what do you think?
I agree, I'd like to see a little bit more, I guess, in terms of the color. I'd like a little bit more finality with what you're looking at there, I guess.
Right.
Looks beautiful.
It
Yeah.
really does. And quite frankly, when you even get to the part about the Triple Crown area, which I know you said isn't even decided yet, but man, I like this rendering. Like, if it matches the coloration of the wall in the background, I'd be almost ready to go with it now. Yeah, I think that's, and I keep going back to the silver of the entranceway.
Right.
Or the aluminum. Because I'm not getting the cohesion, that's my only issue with that. But, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. So yes.
Fundamentally, the design of the
Right.
facade change here, I like.
Okay.
I think it's gonna really be a nice improvement. Update the building,
Yes.
because it needs it, but.
Joe, fair
But
to say?
also, it
oh,
has,
I'm sorry.
the building itself, like, there's the charm of it being what it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I think this does a good job of trying to integrate that.
Fair to say the portion, the retail portion down the eastern end, that'll stay the same?
Yes,
No-
no changes at
No
that.
changes there, okay, so it's just a hotel footprint, pretty much?
Correct.
Restaurant, hotel footprint, okay. All right, so what are you looking at from us tonight as a
Well,
board?
there's a little bit more.
Okay, keep going.
This is just the elevation, but I think you see most of it there. They're just the two pop-ups at that point in time. But then also, we've gone through the planning, land planning. We're changing some functions of the formal gardens in the back. This is just a picture of different functions we have in that area. But what we're looking to do is add one structure that I would call sort of like an arbor. That's the lower left picture here. To the right of that is a small bar area, bar and service area. That'll be added out there because when we do functions out there, we're transporting everything. Buckets of ice, tables, bars. They're looking to make a more permanent structure. And the structure at the top of this picture is actually a tent. It's made of sail material, and I'll show you some pictures of that. It's different than your typical white vinyl tent that you see. And then here's a picture of what we kind of call the arbor. It's kind of interesting. The walls can, I say accordion down, they kind of collapse on one another so it can be more open. The roof structure actually turns and can condense, almost think of like a vinyl shade. When you do it and you pull it together, it would collapse together. So that's one thing that's a function. And to give you an idea, I don't know if anyone's ever been there, this is La Scala, and they actually have this structure without the side walls. So I don't know if anyone's ever been there.
We approved it.
Yeah, I figured.
Will that structure be conditioned?
It won't have no, it won't have conditioning. It will have fans, power, the same
I was
way
just thinking
this
of if
does.
there was a rooftop unit on the roof.
No. So that's one structure in the back area. And then this is a picture of the tent. It's manufactured by a company in Massachusetts. It's kind of made of like yacht sail material. We think it's a little bit nicer, so it's not completely opaque. And I think while you're inside of it, it gives a different look. It allows the light penetration to come through, so it's not a dark vinyl white tent that we've kind of come used to during COVID. And I think that's the last one I have, but that's,
But this is a permanent structure.
it'll be seasonal. I wasn't sure if this is something to be reviewed, but I guess in the air of caution, I thought I'd bring everything through that was presented to the Planning Commission and the Board of Commissioners approval.
Okay.
Because I guess this, you're questioning whether this would be deemed a structure?
Yes, because it's not a permanent roof.
Right.
It doesn't qualify through land planning as a building structure because it doesn't count towards our building coverage. It's over impervious area that's calculated in, but each beginning of middle fall, this will come down and then put back up in late April, May.
And there's all the stuff with the building of a dome and all that stuff, and whether it was a structure or not, so.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you have a couple parts of this application. You've got
Yes.
the storefront, you've got the facade renovation, you've got the gardens.
Yes.
Okay, so, Joe, you have anything else you want to bring
That's,
forward?
that's it for now.
That's it for now.
I will be back again, I'm sure.
Okay. So what are we asking Joe to bring back next month? I'm sure we want to see him again.
Color samples,
Colors.
Spec on the window.
Okay,
I don't know that we need material samples, but
yeah.
I think it would be nice to know what the material is.
Okay, and specs on the
I
windows.
just want to see what the window looks like.
Yeah.
You don't need to bring a physical sample.
Yep.
No, no, shit.
Okay,
Be fun to watch it come in.
and so Joe, the facade material is going to be,
EFS.
okay,
Oh, okay.
all right. And we'll probably ask for some lighting cuts on the building.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you're going to put some lighting on the front of the building.
Let me check.
Okay,
And at this point, just none of the stuff about the restaurant is before us. That's just there
Correct.
as a placeholder.
Yes.
All the wood paneling and stuff in the background, that's not yet.
That's all existing now. There's changes coming to that. That's in process.
Got it.
okay. Joe, how about the landscaping? You're going to change some of the landscaping?
Not really.
Okay.
Other than within the application to do this, we've been through shade tree, and I think we're adding, I'm gonna say somewhere close to 30 trees throughout the property.
Okay,
But we've been through shade tree for that. But as far as the front there's really not much change.
okay,
The tree on the right actually blocks a ductwork there that actually stays, so that's gonna stay.
okay. Well, you know what? I would suggest any changes to landscaping bring in.
Okay,
All right, so just, we would like to see it. Okay.
we can do that.
How about the sidewalks, the curbing? Is that going to be replaced, you feel, or?
The only thing that would get replaced would be right in front of the storefront, just to meet any ADA requirements for slope and stuff like
Okay.
that. That would be the only area of
All
work.
right, okay.
But is all this proposed retaining wall, hardscaping?
That's still being figured out. It was get approval process first and then figure out what we're doing back there. Now, that's kind of within the hotel's courtyard. It's really not out in the
Understand.
public. I don't know.
All right. So at this point, you really only brought that in just to basically get some feedback and show us?
Yes.
Okay, so you're not looking for any approval on that or anything?
I'll be back next month, so
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
And maybe you can get a little more detail on that too, as far as the landscaping, lighting, everything that
Okay.
we need to look at.
Begs a question, when you talk about the garden, how much of the interior design of the garden is actually before our board's purview?
Well, I don't know if we're looking at that, it's outside dining application. So I
It's
don't know
not
if
a
that's,
restaurant, it's a,
yeah. But I mean,
do we ask Chanticleer every time that they have an outside event,
Right.
how they set it up?
well, Joe, do you think there'll be some spillover when there's not an event going on from the restaurant? Will they use that as an outside dining location?
I don't know if I would say outdoor dining, but I think the point is to use it as function space all the time.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, we'll look into, you
Yeah.
know,
I mean, I appreciate knowing, because I'm very intrigued by this entire project, but.
I'm really interested in how the ocean got there. You guys work some magic, don't
That's a
you?
backdrop.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I got you. All right. Okay, good. All right, so you're, I guess, kind of know what we're looking for?
Yep.
Okay,
Is the tent gonna be visible from the street?
I wish I'd, from the back of the property, you might see the very top of it. I have other pictures that show it, but there's pine trees that line the whole back. And also the 595, the front and the Radnor building itself pretty much blocks it about 60% of the way. The top of the tent is about 26 feet high, and the structure of the hotel is at least 32, 34 of where it goes back there, so I don't think you'll see very much of anything back there. The only thing you would see is the top of the tent. You won't see that arbor structure. That thing's not high enough to.
No.
So it's probably safe to say this summer, none of this is going to happen? Are you looking ahead?
Oh, this, no,
That'll be for next year?
like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. What other comments, Joe, or questions?
That's it.
That's it. Board, what do you think, Colin?
Not sure what we're approving.
Yeah, you're right.
Conditionally approving the sign? I think that's the only thing.
And we'll ask Joe to come back?
All right,
Okay.
we conditionally approve it, but that's,
Would it make sense, since they're going to have to go to the zoning hearing board, to maybe wait to go to zoning hearing board in case there's other issues you need to bring in and have them come at the same time, rather than make maybe two separate trips to the zoning hearing board?
well, that's why I would want to
Yeah.
just facilitate however it needs to be for whatever, whether we go first or they go first. I don't know which we
Right.
have to do to actually just make it easier for him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Which way is easier?
yeah.
I think it's easier to go to zoning hearing board knowing that what they're seeing is approved.
So we're conditionally approving the height.
It'll be approved on a condition
Yeah.
that it gets zoning approval.
Yeah.
But this way, that board knows that its decision in its finality doesn't go anywhere else. It's done. I think that would be the cleanest way to do it.
Okay.
All right, good.
In the matter of DRB 2024-18, I move to conditionally approve the Radnor Hotel sign on the frontage of the building. The remaining application will be continued for resubmission with additional details, as has been discussed during this meeting.
Okay, do we hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Joe, again, your deadline to bring new plans into the township for the May 8th meeting is April 17th.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Next on tonight's agenda is DRB 2024-19, the application of Wayne Fine Art at 122 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for a wall sign. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
This just has like a couple of extra notes added to it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't know you could use the laptop.
What's that?
I didn't know you could use the laptop.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Something new every day. My name is Dave. I'm from Image 360 in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. I'm representing Wayne Fine Art and Framing. They're at 122 East Lancaster Ave. My client would like a dimensional letter sign there's an existing sign panel. It's like kind of like rotted out wood. So we're going to put new aluminum composite panels over top of that wood and attach half-inch thick acrylic dimensional letters to it. They're going to be matte black. The signboard's going to be white. It is 23.33 square feet, and that's the entire panel, not just the letter size. It is 11 feet to the top of the sign, and there's 28 square feet allowed by code because the front of the building's 14 feet. Easy peasy.
Dave, how are you going to mount that sign? We can't see the fasteners?
I can't mount it from the back. I'm gonna use screws, I'm gonna paint them white,
Okay.
like
So
completely flush.
Try to conceal them as best you
Yeah.
can, so.
Yeah,
we
they're
don't
gonna
see
be,
anything.
and the letters are gonna be mounted, stud mounted from the back, so those you won't see any fasteners.
All right. Any lighting?
There is no lighting there. Actually, there's lights underneath that canopy. Whether or not they work, I don't know. But
Oh, I see, yeah,
Recessed or something.
they're like,
Cane ones.
okay. And you said the height is how, what's it, 11
11 feet.
11 feet
Yeah.
from grade? Okay. So this business, I think, has been in there for a little bit?
Yeah, she's been in there a year or two.
Yeah,
Like the prior tenant moved down the street, she moved in. We did a banner for her last year, I think.
right, right.
So it's at least a year ago.
This used to be the art store, and he retired, and I think she bought the building, or bought the business, and relocated the building just, a few doors away, so. So I hope she's, or you could tell her, she's allowed to use 20% of her available window space, and it looks like she has some graphics in the window at this point.
Yeah, it's basically ours.
Not to exceed 20%.
Yeah, yeah.
And she may or may not know about the A-frame sandwich.
She is not
board
allowed
cups.
A-frame signs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done one for her yet, so.
Well, do it and charge her, but she can't put it out. He can make some money on it. So, but yeah, they're not allowed, Dave. So, you know that. We've told you
Yeah, and the
many
address is
times.
already on the front door
Good.
from the prior tenant.
Pretty easy.
Yep.
What do you think?
I'm
Looking
with
good?
this, Yep.
Colin?
I don't love the white, but
Yeah, me neither. It shows dirty, like, after a while, but,
a lot of white.
Yeah, it is a lot of white. Yeah,
I would have done it in reverse, but
Right.
that's not what she wanted.
okay. All right.
All right.
Dave, any other comments for the board?
No.
Questions?
No.
Colin, want to take it?
Matter of DRB 2024-19, Wayne Fine Arts. Motion for approval for new wall sign.
For a second?
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. All right, next is DRB 2024-20, the application of Corin's Kitchen at 11 Luella Court for new awning and some window vinyl. Hello there.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
Kieran Ryan, representing Eda Enterprises and Corinne's Kitchen.
All right.
So, yeah, I guess so. So here is the layout. The building is right here. This is one of the, so we're proposing 2 vinyl signs and the awning, like you said. Here is the logo that would be going on the vinyl. This is what the building looked like. Here is a proposed of what it will look like. Here are some dimensions. So the awning is going to be 17 feet long. The letters are 8 inches. The number will be 8 inches by 6 inches. The name of the business will be 6 feet 8 inches by 8 inches as well. And then here are the dimensions for the vinyl, 3 by 3, and then a 1 foot by 10 inch by 1 foot by 10 inch.
Okay, so let's kind of start with the awning. You're going to put a whole new awning, correct?
Yeah, so the awning, as you can see here, it was getting old. So brand new awning. It'll be black, no stripes this time. The 11 will look exactly the same, and the name of the business will be in the center rather than all the way to the right.
On your application, you have Tiempo fabric, Tiempo?
Yes,
Is that,
that is, it's just your kind of typical fabric, waterproof. That was just the precise definition that the awning company gave.
Okay.
It's just your standard.
similar to Sunbrella?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. And your letter height on the drop of the awning?
Will be 8 inches.
Okay, which is the max?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. It's a nice, clean look. You're gonna have the address number on the end, which is smart. So, what do you think? Awning,
Great.
good?
Perfect.
Good, all right. And why don't we look at the window decal? Okay, so this is going to go right in the center of the glass, correct?
Yep, right in the center of the glass, and then for the window, it'll be just about, or sorry, for the door on the window, it'll be just above the door handle. So you're probably going to be probably right at eye level.
Okay. So you have some calculations as far as the window signage, and it looks like it's coming in a little below 20% of your available window space.
Yep.
I didn't think you have anything for the door unless you brought it with you, but let's
Yeah,
just
it
make
should.
sure
It's-
you can calculate it out to make it less than 20.
Yeah, it actually, when you add them all together, including the door, the signage, the lettering on the awning, it'll come to just above 17 feet. The entire width of that building is 18 feet. So we come under that
You're good,
36.
okay. But on the door itself?
Oh, yes.
Looks like it's rather small. Looks like it's going to be well under.
Gonna be under 20.
Yeah, I see it now. It's, yeah, it's pretty small, so you're fine. Yeah.
I haven't, yeah.
You showed us the number, it was like 1 foot by 1 foot, 1 inch or something like that?
Yeah, 1 foot, 10 inch by,
Oh, for the door.
yeah, square there.
Yeah, okay.
1 foot 10 inch by 1 foot 10 inch.
Okay, good.
Karen, what's in the window? Is that like a blind that's pulled down?
Yes, so that was actually an old photo. That blind is no longer there.
Okay.
But yes, that's what it was. It was just an opaque blind.
So just real quick with the awning, you have to have at least a 7-foot space between grade and the bottom of the awning. You sneak in by an inch.
Yeah, you sneak in, exactly. So
Okay.
this was the existing awning. That was the measurement. We're actually going to be, I just wanted to show you from what this picture was taken, what it'll look like. We're actually going to try and keep it up a little bit higher
Okay.
by a couple inches, just to make sure that we're definitely over that.
So there's an existing pole sign there.
Yes.
Is it just going to sit empty at this point?
Yeah, right now, we don't have any plans for that. We're not going to be adding anything for Corinne's Kitchen right now, and there's no plans for that.
It's kind of like right here. Yeah,
Yeah, right at the,
just, I don't know if it's snuck in any of the photos, but basically.
no, it would be out of the picture.
Yeah, to the left of the building, so. Okay, so if the applicant someday wants to put a sign there, it's going to have to come back. for
Absolutely,
approval. Okay. And the usual stuff you heard before, we need the address. Probably on the door is a good idea also, even though you're going to have it, excuse me, on the awning. Probably not a bad idea to put it on the door too.
Okay.
11,
Got it.
just in case there's an emergency. And,
There is one, we can make the numbers a little bit bigger. It's right above the
Oh, I see it.
the door there.
It's there.
okay, there you go, good.
No, it's there.
All right, great, great. And the A-frame sandwich boards are?
No
against
A-frames.
code. Okay. Is this strictly a takeout, or?
So it's catering. There are a couple tables in there. Some people can come sit down, but it's mostly catering and takeout.
Okay. No tables are going to be outside, correct?
Nothing outside.
Okay. So no outside dining. All right.
Hey, Bob,
Yes,
there may be some for that. Was some discussion. The previous was at the table,
yes.
and they had some outdoor dining
Right.
in that side parking lot. So I know Kevin has been speaking with the new owner,
Okay,
and, obviously, if there was something to happen, they'd come back.
okay.
Yes, that was, the way I understood it, that was a COVID protocol, and we've since that's gone now. You can actually see it in that picture up there. That tent is gone, and that parking is now parking for the apartments in the back.
Okay, so maybe it won't come back then.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, just in case, you'll
Okay.
need to see us also. All right. Karen, anything else you want to bring up to the board?
No, that's all.
You're good? You guys good? You're good?
Yeah.
I don't know whose turn it
I
is.
think it's mine, right?
Is it?
The matter of DRB 2024-20, I move to approve the application.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate it. All right. Next on tonight's agenda is DRB 2024-21, the application of Exit 13 at 910 Conestoga Road in Garrett Hill for a facade change. Luciano, we didn't think we'd see you this soon, but glad you're here. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. All right, you're making some changes, huh?
Yeah, my name's Lucho T. Felice, representing Exit 13.
All right. It's looking good.
Yeah.
Looks real good.
Okay, so this image right here is what it looks like today. If you notice right here, there's one garage door, and to the left of that is a regular swinging door. The garage door opens up and down, and we would like to propose a second garage door to the left of that existing garage door. In addition, there's 2 air curtains that would be under the canopy. You can barely see them right there. They would be black. We do have an air curtain today, but it's inside, and the air curtain is, there's dining room tables here right by the garage door. And when we do have the air curtain on, nobody wants to sit by the air curtain because it's just so powerful. And
Is it basically like a fan,
yeah,
an internal fan of some
yeah,
sort?
to keep, yeah, unwelcome friends.
Okay. What do you think?
So your new main entrance will be all the way to the left?
Yeah, so this is just step one. You know, we have to do some interior work. The interior work is contingent upon this first, and then that'll be a permanent application. We'd submit probably next week.
So how do you,
Which there's a vestibule behind the proposed garage door, which you really can't see. So that's, you know,
Colin,
irrelevant.
the vestibule is required under the energy code, and to remove the vestibule, the air curtains would have to be put in place in lieu of.
Oh, well.
So
Okay.
if, you know, step one would be this, then step two, we have spoken about the removal of the vestibule, but it would be contingent on being able to use the air curtains. He has to have either the air curtains or the vestibule to meet the code.
Yeah.
in the interim, people will be using which entrance to get in and out?
To enter the building, it would be the far left entrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because initially the design was for it to be that center one with the vestibule. That's where people were going to be entering, and then you're going to have like the takeout stuff only in the left side.
Yeah, exactly. But it's when it's nice weather, the most desired seats are by the garage doors. So we just thought it might make sense just to have 2 garage doors.
Okay. What do you think, Tim?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin? Good? Okay.
Looks good.
Okay. Luciano, any other comments for the board or questions?
No.
Okay. Andy, anything else do we need to know?
No, we're fine. This was just,
Right.
both methods are code compliant.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, you know, he wanted to bring this in front of the board first before we talked about removal of the vestibule.
Okay, good. All right.
And the vestibule is all internal, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's inside.
Okay.
Matter of DRB 2024-21, exit 0. Motion for approval for a second garage door and 2 air curtains.
Okay, for a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. All right, Luciano, good to
Thank
see you.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. All right, next we have DRB 2024-22, the application of Villanova University at 800 East Lancaster Avenue for outside dining. Hello there.
Hi
How
there.
are you?
Good, thank you. I'm Hallie Ammons, here on behalf of Villanova University,
Great.
and we are here for the furniture in front of the refectory and holy grounds as part of the outdoor dining approval process. This was, the special exception was approved on March 21st by the zoning hearing board, and we are here for the furniture as a final step in that process. And just to orient the board to where we are, here's the Google map, or the overhead view. Lancaster Avenue is here. The refectory and Holy Grounds are here. And in this site plan, this is the placement of the furniture in front of those locations. And that's what we are here tonight about. I can provide some more detailed images of that area. So again, you're looking at the refectory from South Ithan Avenue here and Holy Grounds here. And you can see furniture here, and you may be able to see furniture running alongside here. This is just another view of the refectory once again. You can tell me if I'm going too fast.
No, you're fine.
I have additional questions.
No.
And here's another front-facing view of Holy Grounds. And the furniture there. And last, a little better view of the furniture in front of the refectory here. All of the materials, I believe, in your packets, there is a sheet that shows all the materials that have been previously approved by this board, I believe in 2015, in October of 2015, when the Lancaster Avenue project was first begun. None of the materials are changing. All of the furniture is the same. It's black powder-coated metal, mixture of square and circular tables, but nothing is changing.
Are these high tops, these three?
No, they are not high tops. They're standard
Okay.
height tables. You sit at them. And
Is
all
that
of
a
the,
separate dining area over there? I haven't been to the restaurant, so.
there's the refectory, which has the dining area along the front, and then Holy Grounds is a coffee shop primarily for our student population.
sorry.
And there's a couple of
I didn't realize
round
there was
tables.
two different.
I think for the purposes of the code, they don't make a distinction, but there's a couple of, I believe I can look at the site
I think they
plan
share
here.
the same bathrooms.
Yeah,
Got
I'm
it.
sorry?
So I think they share the same bathroom.
There's three marked off in front of Holy Grounds.
Thank you for the
You're welcome.
clarification.
So what you're trying to do at this point is you're taking the tables that are already outside of the refectory and you're adding 3 more outside of Holy Grounds?
We're not adding anything. The tables in front of the Holy Grounds, they were existing. They're just as part of the outdoor dining special exception. But it's the same numbers of tables,
You're just changing the tables?
not changing anything. Materials are the same. Colors are the same.
Sorry, I was reading something that I must have missed. What are you seeking?
This is Design Review Board approval as part of this,
outdoor dining.
for the outdoor dining. It's part of that special exception process.
So originally, we had the 3 tables outside of the Holy Grounds, and that is not outdoor dining. That's just, people can go into a coffee shop and they can come out. Whereas there's no distinction in Radnor Township between outdoor dining and seating. So we did get the exception to have outdoor dining in front of the refectory. So we thought we'll do this all together as one thing. Show you the tables that are outside of Holy Grounds, even though no one serves anyone out there, and then outside of the refectory where that is served, and it's outdoor dining.
Okay. And you're seeking to have umbrellas on the tables?
Correct. And the umbrellas are existing umbrellas. They are market umbrellas, navy blue sunbrella fabric.
How tall are they?
They are 7 feet 6 inches.
To the base, from grade to the base of the umbrella.
Correct, yeah. And the bases are already, you can see on the table, the bases are already part of the table.
No logo,
No logos.
no naming rights,
Nope.
any of that stuff?
Nope, they're just
Okay.
plain.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Okay. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yep,
Colin, any questions, comments?
no questions.
Okay. Any further comments for the board or questions?
No.
Okay.
In the matter of DRB 2024-22, I move to approve the application.
Approved.
Okay,
Second.
second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next is DRB 2024-23, the application of Chosen at 120 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for a wall sign. Hello there.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
My name is Ken Yield from Faro Designs, and I'm here representing our client, Robin Kratz, owner of Chosen at 120 East Lancaster Avenue.
Good to have you here.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right.
And what we're proposing to do is to eliminate an existing banner that's representing itself as a sign
Yes.
and to replace it with a permanent fixture as identified in the Chosen sign.
Okay.
Everything is in compliance with the allowable square footage, materials and colors, and distance from the grade.
Okay. Yeah, so they're allowed 31 square feet in that location, or 24. So.
Yes, sir.
So this is the neighboring business to the one we just had in, that David represented. So just tell us about the manufacturing of the sign, how you're going to go about doing that.
The material,
materials.
that the substrate material is referred to as alumalite. Excuse me, alumalite. Alumalite is 2 sheets of aluminum with a center core of corrugated polypropylene. It's rated at 120 miles an hour, hurricane resistance, and what may be even more important to you, it has a Class A fire spread rating.
And how is that attached to the building?
We have determined that behind the siding that you see is a plywood sheeting, so we're able to lag through the sign into that sheeting to produce a real secure fit, and then we'll paint the heads of the lags white to match the sign substrate.
Okay, so we won't see any,
That's correct.
okay, all right, good. So very similar to the other application, no lighting proposed.
It's a non-illuminated sign.
Non-illuminated, okay, all right. And the letters will be vinyl?
Yes, sir.
How big's that Chosen letter, do you know, the letters in Chosen?
Well, no, because I didn't think you would care about that because you were concerned about the dimensions of the rectangle to which it is attached, and that's 24 square feet, which is compliant.
They're pretty thin.
So I don't actually have a dimension for the individual letter.
What's allowed, 10?
Well, I mean, as long as it fits within the
Yeah,
parameters.
I would
we
say
don't
they're
want
probably 10 inches.
it. Yeah, it sits so close to the road, you don't want anything so large, but yeah.
They're
I think-
thin though, at least.
They're thin, yeah, exactly. If they were heavy
They're the
duty.
chunky letters, so
Yeah.
that size would be different. but
Exactly.
Yeah, these are vinyl, flat vinyl letters.
We're talking about the width of the font.
Oh, I see.
They
It's,
get-
that's the company's logo.
The height and the character of the font and the design of the sign is something that is within our purview.
I see.
That is something that we do consider, which is why
I understand.
we were asking about the height of the letters.
Okay.
All right. You guys good? Selections for self and home? And we keep running into that, doesn't it? Keeps blighting
What
us
is the
over there.
business?
Yeah.
To be very frank with you, I'm not exactly
Okay.
sure what their business is.
What is the name of the business?
Chosen.
I mean, I think it looks good, and I'm good with it, if you guys are good with it, so.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
Like I say,
needed.
if you just had Chosen on there, you wouldn't know if they're selling.
See, I think that's the
Hardware.
point. She can do anything.
The entirety of it is their logo.
Yeah, right, right. Okay.
Let's get it going.
I'm sorry?
We're good.
I think we are, yeah. And again, you probably heard from the previous applications, you may want to just tell your client, again, you're not allowed to have the A-frame sandwich boards out front.
I've got that part.
They're against code. You
I've
probably
heard
that
that.
a couple of times. And I'm not too sure if there's an address on that building right now on the door, so we need to have that address number, at least.
I see,
for each,
for
numbers.
emergency response.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make sure that happens.
Okay.
Is there a spec in terms of the size of the
Let's go
letters?
At least like 4 inches.
4 inches,
Yeah.
okay. Just the street number,
Just a street number.
okay.
Yeah, I don't see one there.
I don't either, no.
Yeah, let's make sure it's on there, so. As you can see, it used to be a State Farm agency by the door handles, so.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Any other, anything else you'd like to bring before our board tonight?
No, sir.
You're good? Any questions
This
or
isn't the
comments?
old Fairman, is it?
This was John Hebden, State Farm Agency, many, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a number of businesses since then and now.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
We good?
Tim, you're good?
Matter of DRB 2024-23, motion for approval for new wall sign.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, one more.
This is it. Okay. All right. Last application on tonight's agenda is DRB 2024-24, the application of Alessandro's at 133 North Wayne Avenue for a new awning and outside dining.
Thanks for your patience, gentlemen.
Appreciate you seeing us.
All right. So- Yeah, right. Would you rather start with the awning? I think the awning's going to be a little easier. Sure. Okay.
Good evening, John Weckerly, Boxwood Architects. I have the tenant and restaurateur with me as well, if there are any
Great.
questions. We're here for two agenda items. One, on the rear of the building, we'd like to introduce a sign, an awning that includes a sign, as you can see here on the rear elevation. Signage calculations show here, allowable at 269.75 square feet. We identified the main sign on the front of the building as 24 square feet, and then our proposed new sign on the vertical valance of the awning at 56 square feet. The valance is shown as 10 inches tall, 6-inch tall letters with 2 inches above and below the letters, centered horizontally on the vertical face, with a total run of 5'3".
I'm sorry, letter height is how much?
6 inches.
6 inches, okay, you're good. And it looks like sunbrella?
Sunbrella, yes,
Okay.
sir.
No lighting or anything?
No
You have
lighting,
an existing spot, I know, out back, but,
Correct. Aluminum frame,
right.
lag bolted to the masonry.
Guys good with the awning?
Yeah.
That's pretty simple. Okay, good. All right,
And the reasoning for the awning in the rear?
So they use you can see this elevation here, they use both this door and this bill code door to access the basement, and it's a function of prep and
Weather protection?
communication to the operation, so the awning is intended to provide weather cover of those two doors.
Thank you.
all right, good. All right, so for the outside dining, you know what, I'm going to ask you to use a mic too. It'll be easier, and I think people at home will hear you better with the mic, so.
So that was just the rear awning we looked at, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's take a look at the outside dining. I know you've had outside dining in the past.
Yes, so
It's been expanded, I know.
So we're currently have a proposal in for zoning as well on the outdoor dining, so we're looking to conditionally present the furniture associated with the outdoor dining and communicate any other talking points. As you'll see here for the seating calculation, we show here our indoor dining total is 116. Outdoor calculation is 116 at 25%, totaling 29 proposed seats for the outdoor. We show in plan, you can see there are 2 four-tops proposed at the facade, and then the remaining tables and chairs along the side elevation. The yellow passageway here represents the 4-foot minimum clearance required for passage. And then we also have included in your packet and have printouts here of the existing furniture that they have been using through the most recent license that they had, and with the hope to repurpose that furniture as part of this new application. You can see here there are two different chair types, color-wise, very similar design, powder-coated aluminum frames, and then resin base for the tables, along with the composite tabletop with a synthetic stone appearance for the melamine top.
What do you think of the tables? Or the chairs and the furniture?
I've sat on them, I've used them.
Okay, they're pretty heavy duty?
They work.
They're
yeah,
solid?
They hold my weight.
They're not gonna go anywhere with the earthquakes coming and stuff like that?
I have no problem with the furniture.
Okay, good.
We don't show it here. We didn't get a chance to look either, but if there were an ADA requirement for the outdoor dining, both of the four tops at the front accommodate wheelchair approach within, whereas the tables and chairs on the side are pedestal base. So the ones on the side have a leg based on either side to allow for that access.
And all the tables will now match, or they're not replacing the ones in the front?
They will all match, and there's no intention to replace the ones in the front aside from installing what was previous there under the previous license.
Got it.
Andy, is this considered like a clean slate at this point? Does it kind of forget about what's going on in the past? Is this?
I would defer that to Kevin.
Okay,
And
yeah,
I know that's part of what the review process will be, is with, Kevin going through all that. So
Okay.
I would defer to him.
okay. All right. Yeah, I know, it just seems like it keeps growing and growing on that property, and, okay, so,
Yeah, again, I'm not sure what the numbers were historically, but there is a calculation. There has been an expansion of the second floor, which was recently completed. That project is complete and in use. So I'm not sure if with the increased number of seating now, you can also increase the outdoor.
okay.
That may be, something for, that obviously Kevin will review and we will calculate.
Sure.
But
Okay.
as far as the materials, the look,
Right.
et cetera, if
Ye-
that's all fine, we can confirm the number.
Right, understood. I understand what you're saying. I think that the previous application had a higher seat count for the outdoor.
Okay.
We're basing our calculation based on the interior total and then the percentage allowable based on that. So this is actually, the 29 is actually less than what was previously being used.
I know planter boxes have been an issue also.
Yeah,
I think you may have some out there.
there were a couple planters which have been removed
Okay.
because I think when we dropped the package off, there was a comment about no planters, so
Right.
they've already been removed. There is an existing low knee wall here, and then a server station here. However, no other planter boxes to speak of as part of the proposed. No heaters being proposed, no umbrellas being proposed.
So essentially, you have a reduction in the number of outdoor seating, you're just trying to repurpose the equipment that's already purchased and already in use to just save that expense and use that same equipment.
Yes, sir.
Now, that equipment's been used, it's been, what, 2 years now, or 3? More, yeah. 3 years. Yeah, it's so, if the equipment is in good condition, I don't have any issue with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have the equipment be ratty looking or
Right,
something
right,
like that.
right.
That's the only concern with that. But
Sure.
I haven't personally observed any issues with it. And so I defer to you. Obviously, you don't want your establishment to look beaten up, so it's in your interest to keep it looking nice.
Yeah, we all certainly understand the importance of upkeep and we'll make sure that it maintains quality.
Right. So so there's not going to be any umbrellas?
Not as part of this application, no.
Okay, so I know you've got an awning in the front, so I guess you can seat people underneath the awning. But under the code, and again, Kevin will go over with you, but it says, under outside dining, roof coverings, all outdoor dining areas shall have an approved roof material available for patrons or at the direction of the township's health officer. So it almost sounds like you need some sort of protection out there. I guess it's a 90-degree day, you're out there eating pasta and getting sick because you have no protection from the sun.
So maybe that's just an umbrella?
It can be an umbrella.
Yeah, I guess, again,
umbrella
Kevin,
can-
I guess would go over that, so. I guess, would an awning be, I guess, a covering for the front patrons possibly, but,
It could be. Actually, now that you're mentioning that language, the township no longer has a health department.
right.
The county has taken that over. So I want to talk to Kevin about how that, gets administered. Does there need to be any approval or comment from the county? But again, that'll all be taken care of through the process with, dealing with Kevin in the zoning aspect.
Understood.
So
And if-
then the only question would be then is, are additional umbrellas needed for the side seating? Is that what you're asking?
That's what I would think. If there's no protection, no awning, no protection, and, guys are out there in, 95-degree days, and it's food spoiling, and I don't know, I mean,
Well,
just,
I think Kevin will get
if I
to
could
the bottom.
suggest, if the umbrellas were of the same color as the awning and within the height parameters that are allowed, that could be a condition of, if they're required, that's what they would have to be.
right.
Right, and we're not opposed to the umbrellas. I think
Sure.
we were just trying to be sensitive to the imposition on the side of the building there by way of keeping it open. If I understand what you're saying, and if umbrellas are desirable, we certainly
Like I
can.
say, it's in the code book, so.
Might help you
again,
distinguish the area, too.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of obscure now, so like,
We can certainly,
Pop a little bit. Again, no advertising or anything on the.
understood.
Yeah, on the umbrellas, but again, Kevin, I guess will go over all that with you, so.
Mhm.
So, okay. All right. What else, guys?
is the new awning out front new or in that sign that you show on the plan, or is that as is?
This one here is an existing condition. There's a retractable awning on the facade.
I thought I saw a new sign too, no? I already closed the
That
plan,
went
sorry.
up a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I see why you say it, because it looks like on the.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly, but no, that's all there.
okay.
All right. What else, guys?
That's all we have tonight.
Okay. So,
Sure.
okay.
In the matter of DRB 2024-24, I move for conditional approval of the application subject to further review by the township and county as may be necessary for any health conditions, and if umbrellas are ultimately deemed required, that the umbrellas be of the same color and material of similar kind to that of the awning that is being put onto the building.
Okay.
Just to clarify that, we show the awning in the back as black, whereas the awning in the front has a kind of a burgundy maroon color. Was there a preference? And I think either one would look great. I just want to make sure that.
Preference of black.
Yeah, I think the black probably looks cleaner.
Might show
Yeah.
us.
Okay, just wanted to make sure if you were looking to have this or this
No,
guy.
no, excuse
Do
me,
you guys have a preference?
I think for the front, since the front awning's already kind of burgundy, maybe we go with the burgundy maroon, just to kind of blend in the front.
I'm sorry. Just,
I think I would prefer a burgundy, just to match the front awning, maroon, reddish.
I'm fine with leaving it to their discretion.
Me too.
As
Yeah.
long as it matches the color of one of the awnings.
Perfect. No
Okay.
problem at all.
I do think it would help bring the facade around if they were that kind of burgundy color.
okay, good.
It also is like the branding, because the black is black and the burgundy is your color, then there you go.
Perfect.
All right, good. Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any further questions for our board? You guys are good?
None
All
as of
good.
now.
Okay, great.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
and Kevin, you're good? Excuse me, not Kevin. Andy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're fine.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, terrific.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, any other business on the agenda for tonight?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll see you in May. Thank you.